Hello all and welcome back to another model railway video. Now today I'm finally going to be looking at a locomotive in HO scale. It's a locomotive from America and it's a little shunting engine. So I'll put it in front of the camera so you can see it. This is the engine today. It is Bachmann's S4 diesel shunting locomotive. This locomotive also features DCC and Sound, so it's going to be quite a cool video today as this engine will be running with the Sound operating. It'll be running on DCC when I run it, so it'll be quite neat to see. So this locomotive, as can be seen, is in the Santa Fe's black and silver livery. Before I saw this engine, I hadn't really seen this livery up close, and I think it's really cool. It's because you're normally used to seeing Santa Fe engines either in silver and red or in the yellow and black sort of colours, but this is totally different. It looks really neat. It's a lot more simple than the other liveries that have been produced. Like normally you've got different colours that meet up, whereas this is just simply black, just a bit of silver lining, and then you've got the wasp stripes on the side, which is a real cool feature. It's a typical shunting loco feature. So yeah, it'll be quite a good one to look at. Anyway, I will now have a good look at this thing in detail, have a look at what components it features, like the detailed bits and bobs, and then I will put it on the layout on DCC. I'll power it up, I'll go through some of the sounds that this thing features, and then I will give it a run and possibly do some shunting, as it is a shunting loco. Anyway, we'll get to it. So, up close, the locomotive is a very beastie looking shunter, typical American design, and as can be seen, we'll start with the wheel sets first. It's got the typical Alco style bogies underneath. These were quite common in a lot of early shunting locos, and some diesel engines as well, mainline diesels. But yeah, very nicely designed. There's plenty of detail there. You got the axle boxes, you got the whole frame. It's got rivet detail in places. It looks really nice. Good looking bogies. And I think this is actually the first bogied loco I've looked at so far, so that's good. We'll move to the front of the engine to start off with looking at the main detail. So you've got that really cool wasp stripe set on the front with the silver and black, and that looks really neat. I'm used to seeing the wasp stripes either in a yellow or orange colour, so to have the silver, it's quite neat. It's a bit different. It looks really good. If I move it a little bit closer, you can also see there is an LED light fitted, which is in a nice orange colour. It's not blue like some of them, so that's a really good feature, and you'll soon see that in operation. You've also got the 1529 number on the front of it, and you've also got these brilliant handrails. Now, for a Bachmann loco, this is really good. It's because a lot of Bachmann's basic engines feature handrails that are real chunky and don't look realistic, whereas this, super fine, and it does look realistic. It doesn't look too bad. Like, if I'm to position that side on, they look really fine. If you compare this to one of the more basic locomotives, you'll definitely see what I mean there. You've also got the wasp stripe continuing all the way down the front on where the shunter would stand. When I'm saying shunter, I'm meaning the person who would be disconnecting the couplings and linking the wagons up. Now I also want to talk about something on the front of the engine which some of you may have seen on Bachmann locos but may have not known what it is. So I'll explain it. So on the front of some Bachmann engines, especially the DCC ones, you get this on the front, this moving bar that moves up and down. Now I'll explain what that is used for. So on the full-size locomotives, generally you would have a chain linking from that centre bar, which is in the middle there, which you can see, linking to the coupling, and what that would do is simply open the coupling up. It would pull the pin out from the top of the coupling and would open the knuckle right up when you pull it up with the lever, like that. And then when you drop it back down, it's just sitting down, and then when the loco goes to couple, it'll just lock in place. So that's what that is used for. I only recently found out about this after wondering for years what on earth it was used for. I finally saw a locomotive that had the chain actually linked to the coupling, and it actually worked. It opened it up, and then you could couple up and, yeah, just lock into place. So yeah, an interesting thing about American engines, which I didn't originally know. So yeah, quite cool. And of course, with this engine you get a standard knuckle coupler. It's spring loaded, so there's the spring just on the side there. And of course it pivots and then it's sprung on the inside with 2 little plastic tabs. So yeah, there's all sorts of little rivet detail as well. There's more handrails along the side, which I'll talk about in a minute. And yeah, really, really nice front on the thing. We'll have a look at this side of the engine and have a look what's going on there. So of course, as standard on a lot of American engines, you've got this big handrail going all the way down the side, and that is exactly the same on the other side of the loco as well. You've got more of the wasp stripes going down the side, and that goes all the way to the cab and then lines with the cab as well, which is really, really cool. You've also got the Santa Fe symbol on the side, which is in a blue, which it stands out from the rest of it because it's the only blue painted component with the silver writing and the circle as well. And you've got the ATSF printed on the side above that, and then a nice silver line going down the side. You've also got all of the vent detail, including this brilliant looking one at the front that looks fantastic, and yeah, a lot of other rivet detail. You've also got the number plate on the top in the headboard. I'll bring it into the centre. So there's that. And you've also, of course, got it on the cab, and then another little fine plate in there, which I can't read, of course, because it's so small. Again, the bogies look fantastic, and you've also got the fuel tanks, which are actually die-cast metal. I'm pretty sure that is part of the frame, so that's a real nice feature. Also, on the cab of the locomotive, you can see that the handrail leads right up to the top of it, and you've got these nicely done glazed windows on the side, and you can see this little extended part for the armrest on that window as well. So again, another cool feature. Also, something I failed to mention, which is on the front and back of the loco, you've got the steps leading up to the running board as well, where you'll be walking along. Okay, we'll have a look at the back of the engine. Again, more wasp stripes. You've got the door, and you've got these brilliant windows on the back, another LED, the number, handrails. It's very much the same, except for, of course, you've got the cab to it, and you've got the little handrails leading up to the cab door, which are just there. I'll turn the side on. So there you go, you can see just going up there. But yeah, pretty much it's all the same down this area. It's just the difference is the cab top there. And you've also got small handrails. I don't think they're separately fitted. I think it's just part of the mould. But you've got these little handrails which are located there. Well, I'm pretty sure they're meant to be handrails, or on the sides of the door. Unfortunately, this engine does not have any cab detail in it at all. It has just got a little black sleeve inside, and that's pretty much just covering the gearbox and the drive shaft and electrics, really. There's no cab detail in it at all, as you can see. I'll look at the roof of the loco now, so pretty much no rivet detail at all on the roof, which is a shame, because when you look at the rest of the body, it does have a lot of rivet detail, but I'm not complaining. It looks nice. It looks good. Nice finish. The paint's done really well. It looks good. And, of course, on the top, where the motor would be, you've got all of these little hatches that have been etched in. You've got the separately fitted and painted exhaust. I'm pretty sure that's separately fitted. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please tell me. And then, of course, you've got your little air horn in there. I'll turn my loco so you can see it properly. And you've got the cab windows, of course, on the front as well. And then you got down the front here, you got this vent with like a little paddle riding over the top of it, which I'm pretty sure is also separately fitted. Looks pretty much like it would be a separate piece. But yeah. And of course the other side of the loco looks pretty much the same, except when the handrails meet at the cab, they go just straight on. Whereas on this side, they go up like that. And I'm pretty sure that's because that's like where the step, there's a little step there, where you'd step into the cab there. And of course also you've got the wasp stripes on the front of the cab as well, on either side. So yeah, really, really nice. So this is a really cool looking industrial diesel engine by Bachmann, and I think it's a really cool livery. It's different compared to the other Santa Fe liveries that are out there. And yeah, it's a good choice that they chose to do this version. They've done other versions, of course, like you can get them in Union Pacific colours, and I'm pretty sure other Santa Fe versions as well. But yeah, I like this one. It's really, really cool. So yeah, we'll put this on my American layout, which you're going to see for the first time. Well, in depth. You've probably seen little snippets of it in some of the other clips, but you'll get to see a locomotive running along it for the first time. And yeah, I'll possibly do some shunting. and then I'll just run it around the line so you can see it going. And of course, I'll go through the sounds as well. So, we'll get into it. So welcome to my HO gauge layout. This layout is the original railway that got me started in the hobby, and it's slowly been upgraded over time. I'm still in the process of doing work to it and replacing the old Easy Track with Flexi Track. This has been done in some areas, but still the majority of the curvature on the railway is still Easy Track. But it originally used to be the black ballasted stuff, which was steel rail, so at least it's now grey, so it looks a little bit better. Still very plasticky, but it looks alright. It does what it needs it to do. Now, the controller I'll be running this locomotive on today is just one of Bachmann's Easy Command Control Centres. These are really good little starter control sets, and since it's a Bachmann engine, that way you can know it's a Bachmann product that's operating a Bachmann product, so should run really well. And I know it does because I've run it, of course. Anyway, I'll flip the power on and you can hear the sounds, and I'll explain what function keys do what. Here we go. So the thing you can immediately notice is this doesn't have like a startup. It's just instant sound on. And that's that. There's no like winding up at the motor and kicking into life. It's just instant on, really. It's alright. I would like a startup personally myself. I've got other engines that have a startup feature. This one unfortunately doesn't. At least not on this control I'm running anyway. It may have it if you try it on another control, but I'm somewhat doubtful. But yeah, I'll run through the sounds. So the number one function key is the bell. Well, I better actually engage it first. So number one is the bell. You push it once to turn it on. Push it a second time to turn it off. Number two is your long horn. Once to turn it on. And again to turn it off. Number three is your short horn. And that is pretty much used for like when you are reversing. So in the States they generally do 3 short horns as your reverse, so pretty much like this. And that would be reverse. So the next function key is actually the 7th one, but I need to activate the lights first to show you. So number 10 on this control is for your lights. And you may just see the glow that has just started there. And it is a really bright LED light, but it's in the orange. It looks really nice. I'm glad it's not a blue LED, otherwise it looked totally unrealistic. So I'm going to move to number 7, back to number 7, is because that is the dimming feature for your lights. You push it once, and you see the light is still on, but it's dimmed massively. And then I'll push 7 again, and that will bring the brightness right back up. And of course, number 8 is your mute. So if you push this, all the other features are still operational, except for your sound features, like you can dim your lights on and off, like that. You can also turn the lights off again, like that. And you can run the locomotive, as I will just show you there. It moves, it will go backwards, and it's completely muted. And then all you do again is just push number 8, and you got your sound back again. So anyway, I will get the locomotive on the line. I will show you it shunting up to some wagons, connecting up to them, and then we'll head out on the track and give it a good run. Let's get to it. we go, folks. That is Bachmann's S4 diesel shunting locomotive number 1529 from the Santa Fe Railroad, or ATSF. So this is a really neat little shunting locomotive. I really like the sound that is installed in the engine. The one thing I would say about my particular version of this engine, the actual motor, like the model motor, does make a bit of vibrating noise on the bodywork, and you can hear it when it's running, and with the sound combination it sounds alright, but you can definitely hear it overpowering the sound at some points. So it may be something that I might need to look at, maybe just bringing the sound volume up a little bit, because other locomotives make that common vibrating noise and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it. So I might need to turn the sound up on this engine. But anyway, it's a brilliant little runner. It can run at really good slow speeds, as you've just seen, and yeah, good little loco. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this small video of this engine with DCC and Sound, and if you are keen to see any more American HO locomotives running or looking at any other engines, please let me know in the comments and I will see what I can do. But for now, hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.